Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and welcome back to yet another news video. Now, this one is out a little bit late in comparison to some other news. I apologize for that, but also it's not like super important news. It's not immediate news that we need to know. It's just kind of updated information about the whole like 4 images that we saw. Here they are up on screen. It's Milen. I'll talk about it more, but basically I made a video talking about that. We're gonna go through it again, so you don't need to go watch that video again or go watch it for the first time. Basically, Thomas Astruc just answered some questions. It was like a Q&A session, so we're gonna be talking about that. Now, I am going to be following off of some tweets because Miraculous Italy on Twitter actually was there at the conference, so they were there like live updating us or something, and then Miraculous World Network went ahead and translated all of it, so I'm just going to be going off of their tweets, and we're going to start off with this one. Miraculous Italy was present in Thomas's conference in Luca comic and has shared some pretty interesting information. We will be translating the post shortly. In the images below, we can appreciate the concept art for Milen as the mouse hero and a new character called Suhan. So let's go ahead and talk about these images again. We just see there's like 2 Milen images, or I mean like 2 main ones, but there's a couple, I don't know. But we see just some different concept arts for Milen. We don't know which one's going to be chosen. If you watch my other video, then you know that I like the hoodie one, the more pajama looking one, because that one just, I don't know, it just is like relaxed, and we don't really have like a relaxed looking hero. And then the main talk of that previous video that I made was about this new character called Suhan. Now we actually get like a closer up photo in this new tweet thread, and we can actually make out the Suhan character, and it says Miraculous Ladybug 408, so that could be referencing the 8th episode of the series. Now, we don't know who Suhan is or what his role is going to be in the show, whether he's a monk or he's just another character that's going to get akumatized, which is honestly my guess for what is actually going to happen, because the other image that we have is a different image, and it's of this guy holding Ladybug and Cat Noir, and he looks pretty strong. So there's just a brief recap of what we saw like a week ago. But now let's go ahead and just keep going into all of the next tweets, which are, it's a lot of information actually. So if you enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. But this one says, Thomas is not sure when Season 4 will be broadcasted, but they are aiming to make the hiatus smaller than that of Season 1 and 2. Storyboard and scripts have already been written for Season 4, they are only missing the animation on the episodes. So basically, we don't know when to expect it. Now, I don't know, I wasn't a fan of the show during Season 1 and 2, but I've heard that it was like a really long hiatus, so I don't know. And then we did see that Jeremy Zag tweeted, or I guess it was an Instagram post, he was basically saying, hey, fall of 2020 is when we could expect to see it, so that's hopefully the timeline as far as where it is. Now, we basically got Season 3 right after Season 2, and I honestly probably would have rather wait a little longer for Season 3 to come out, just like have there be more of a hiatus, so that the hiatus between Season 3 and 4 isn't as great, but that's just my own preference. But yeah, that's just Thomas's opinion on where the production is. They haven't started the animation, or if they did, then they don't have it yet, so they're just working on it, so we don't know when. Now, the first question, as in like a Q&A format, is, which is your favorite episode in the show? And then Thomas answered, my favorite episode is always the last one we have written, for we are always trying to improve the level. We think in making every episode better than the last, which I think is kind of funny considering how Miracle Queen went, but we're just going to ignore that for now. And next we have a little tidbit about Chloe, and I guess we don't really have a question, like per se, like an exact quote for a question, but it was just something related to Chloe. And Thomas said, if you have seen the Season 3 ending, you have to understand why Chloe does things. She doesn't do things to be altruistic, but to receive recognition. This unfortunately does not cancel out all the bad things she has done just because she did one good thing, only to be flattered. What message would it send to kids? We try to explain why she is that way, but understanding is not the same thing as forgiving. Maybe Chloe can improve, but it will require a lot of work. Which is sort of what I've been saying. I've been saying, yeah, Chloe could have improved, but since Ladybug wasn't actively trying to help her improve, she's not going to go anywhere. So we're just going to see Chloe continue to develop, I think, but for right now, she's remaining the same since nobody is really trying to help her. Now, this next question was, what do you think about Lila, and why is she Italian? And Thomas says, what makes you think she's Italian? She's a liar. Maybe she made that up too. So this one isn't really super interesting. The next question was, what type of relationship do Adrien and Kagame have? Now, this is where things start to get a little bit interesting because he actually dives into later Marinette and Luca. So the whole thing gets a little interesting. So Thomas answered, it's interesting because they share many things and that's why they understand each other profoundly. Kagame means mirror, which means mirror in Japanese, by the way, and in fact, she's a mirror to Marinette and Adrien in a way. Adrien can't speak about his life with Ladybug, so it's easier to approach Kagame instead. But is it really love? Who knows? Nothing is sure about love. It's a feeling with different meanings. And basically, this is Thomas's way of saying, yeah, haha, this is an endgame, which is something that we've all known, but this is just his way of saying it because he's like, but is it really love? Nobody knows. Whoa. So basically confirming that it's not actually going to be staying that way. They're just transition ships, which is exactly what's going on. Now this next one is, why did you replace Felix with Adrien? And Thomas's answer was, Felix is a character that is mysterious and evil. When I tried to imagine Marinette reacting to him, I couldn't imagine why she'd love someone like him, so that's how I came up with Adrien. Which is the same reason that he's answered this before, so that may have been a waste of a question, but that's alright. Also, I've noticed that my voice has got progressively worse throughout this video, so if I sound weird, then I'm sorry. Compared to like the beginning of the video, my voice is just kind of dead right now. Now the next question was, what's the relationship between Gabriel and Natalie? And Thomas says it's complicated. We had actually written a comic involving the events before Miraculous, when Gabriel was a teen and when he met Emily and Natalie, etc. We hope that we can release this comic. Now he talks about the comic later on, so I'll put my full opinion on that when we reach that point, but for now, let's just move on to the next one. Now this one is, what's your favorite ship? And then Thomas says, I like all of them. It's hard to choose, but the most complex to create, but also the most interesting, is the one between Nathaniel and Mark. So again, he's not saying anything like his true favorite, because his true favorite is probably related to Marinette or Adrien, and that way, or if he said that, then he would probably be revealing sort of like where the show is headed, because the creator of the show is obviously going to have a favorite, and my guess is it is Adrianette, simply because he's the creator of the show. Adrianette's the OTP, so that's where we're headed. But I think that's just a filler answer because he can't reveal everything. So yeah, there's that answer. Now this next question is, what is the relationship between Marinette and Luca? And Thomas says, similar to that between Adrien and Kagame, Luca is kind, handsome, and attainable, as opposed to Adrien, who is locked up. So it's easier for her to be with Luca, but also, is it love? Is it something else? Who knows? Again, him just confirming, like, hey, this isn't the OTP, it's just a transition ship, ha ha ha. For those of you guys who are like dead set, I don't know, is anyone really dead set on like Lucanette or Adrigami? Like, are people like really thinking that that's the OTP? Because it's not the OTP. Adrianette's the OTP. These are just transition ships. So again, more evidence supporting the fact that Adrianette's the OTP, or at least not Adrigami and Lucanette. At least it's not those two. I don't know. Maybe Marinette finds someone else or something. Now the next question is, the mother Adrien loves so much, why did she never let him go to school or ever let him be free? Now I actually really like this question because this is something that I was wondering myself. Now Thomas says, all the answers are in this comic I have mentioned, the Gabriel story, so I can't tell you, it'd be a spoiler. Now I really want to know this because there is a reason. Adrian's been locked up, and why was this? Now part of me believes because it's a dangerous world out there, and why is it dangerous? I don't know. Maybe Adrian's mother and Gabriel were doing some bad things with the Peacock Miraculous, which inevitably made Emily go to sleep for eternity, like an eternal sleep. I don't know, just an idea. So I do really want to see this comic because it looks like it has a lot of answers, although I would like to have these answers actually in the show rather than reading a comic, because that just adds to the story. Not everybody's going to read the comic, but odds are you're going to watch the show, so it just doesn't make sense to not have it animated. So I'm a little confused as to why they don't do that, but whatever. Now the next question is it true that there will be a movie about the series? And really, you should have done some research before just asking a question, because yes, there's been tons of confirmations that there's a movie. Thomas answers yes, Jeremy Zag wrote it and is directing it. I think it'll be interesting since it'll show a completely different vision of the universe. It also has songs, so I'm happy. So this kind of confirms that the movie is actually going to be a whole different view on the Miraculous Universe. Which is weird because I thought that he said that it was a continuation or it was coming after season 5 for a reason. So I don't know, maybe he's thinking of a different movie, or maybe we're just all a little confused here, but I'm definitely a little confused because I thought that this movie was supposed to occur after season 5, which would inevitably put it into the plot. I don't know. Anyway, movie is confirmed, basically, that's what he's saying. And to finalize, why do you enjoy making us suffer? And then Thomas says, because I know you like it. He knows us so well. Sometimes. I don't know. There's a couple different things that he doesn't get. But anyway, that was it for all the questions, or at least not all of them apparently, but the ones that we have for now, the most interesting ones. So if there's any more, depending on the interest level and what they are, I might make a video, but we'll see. That's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know when that'll be, but yeah, I'll see you then. Goodbye.
It's a good thing you're as clumsy as they are boring.